Okay, buddy, this is gonna be step one of the tutorial. I'm gonna show you how easy this is. Hopefully my GoPro doesn't die. Pardon my music in my pocket. It's my phone playing Pandora. I'm gonna log onto my computer and I'm gonna show you. First step, you make a print of a photo that you already have. And it's off a crappy inkjet printer, okay? You don't gotta like make a photo printer, that's a waste, alright? Plus it's harder to draw through photo paper. I'm just gonna go into my Lightroom and pick a random ass photo and show you. So we're in Lightroom right now. I'll pick a photo to do for this tutorial. You know what? Let's pick like a nature photo. We'll take like this one right here. Oh fuck no, that's way too much shit. Okay, let's take something real basic. Okay, so like this flower, right? And we're gonna print it off this inkjet printer. Okay, and we're gonna let's make sure we print it in black and white, not color. That'd be a waste. You just need a black and white print, and you can tweak your black and white so that you can see better when you're drawing too. So like that kind of, I want more contrast in there so I can see all the lines and shit. There we go. Like right about there. Bump up the clarity just a bit. Bring the whites down a hair and the blacks down further. Yeah, so we can see all these veins in the flower. Alright, and bring the highlights up because that helps when you're eyeballing your shading. There we go. Just get as much contrast as you can without, and don't worry about it being fucking noisy or anything like that. So like that's good enough, whatever. We're gonna print that. Alright, and I'm gonna print it off my shitty ass photo printer. Or not even my photo printer, my regular inkjet printer, okay? And this is step one. And once you print it, you just take like a blue or red or whatever ballpoint pen so you can see where you're drawing onto the black. That's another reason why you don't print color, but also it's a waste of color ink. But you take a different color than black so that you can see where you're drawing and where you've already traced. And you're just going to trace onto this print through the carbon paper onto the wood. And it's going to make basically like a pencil drawing of your trace on the wood. So here's my print. And this is step one. Alright CJ, so obviously you're going to want to go out to like Office Depot or Staples or something and pick up some of this carbon paper. It's like $6.50 for like $6.50 for a pack of like 25. So it's kind of expensive for paper, but you know. Then you're gonna want to find like a piece of scrap wood, boom, that your photo will fit on. This is an 8x10 print, so maybe you want to print a little smaller. If you got a smaller piece of wood, it kind of depends. I think 8x10 is pretty easy to work with because it's nice and big. It's easy to see the shit. So we're just gonna use this big ass piece of wood, and I'm gonna cut it down later. Alright, so I'm gonna clean that off and sand it down a little bit with some extra grip tape that I just have lying around. Actually, I'll use the smooth end. Oh, that is the smooth end. Shitty. Okay. So sand it, all this dirt and bullshit off. Get it a little bit smoother. And you don't gotta like sand the shit out of it either. You're just getting a nice clean working surface, okay? I'm not even sanding the whole thing right now because I'm gonna cut it. Alright, so I've got my print. I'm gonna take a piece of carbon paper. Alright, this is crazy because I'm still working on this rose from my mom, so we're essentially going to be doing two of these at once. You're going to take the carbon paper, lay it black side down on the wood, and then you're going to lay your print right over top of it, alright? Like that. So you're going to want to do, I think packing tape works good, or duct tape if you got it, whatever. Scotch tape, not so good on wood. Doesn't like to stick very well. But you just tape it in place. Once it's taped in place, then you can start tracing it. So, I'm gonna tape this guy. I taped it just along my white borders, right? And now I'm gonna take a blue ballpoint pen so I can see it on the white, right? And you start tracing it. And that's all you do, dude. Alright, you trace your outline, and then I like to trace my shading too. Just the really dark shading. Like that. And then for stuff that's like super black, I just put lines in it like this. So I know I see like 3 lines or whatever. I'm like, okay, that whole section is black. So when I'm burning it, I know. I don't gotta like trace and color all that in with a fucking ballpoint pen. It's gonna take forever. But anyway, this is step 2. Okay, CJ, so we're done with step 2. This took about half an hour to trace this with the blue onto here. You can see I did some shading. That's just to help me out when I actually get to the shading. I just like, not exact, just kind of a generic idea. The shading doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so bam, and then there's our freaking outline with some shading, and then all we gotta do is start burning with the wood burner. It's that simple. Alright, step 4 will be next. That's the long, tricky part. Alright, CJ, so now we're on to the next part, which is the burning. So we've got our trace. I'm doing some other ones right now, too. But we'll just give you a quick lowdown. It's been heating up for quite a while, so it's probably very, very hot. Yep, as you can tell, burning right away. See all that smoke and shit. Alright, so I actually probably have the wrong one in here. I like to use this, what I call the flathead screwdriver. It's basically what it is for my initial outlines, but we'll do this just like this anyway, just so you can see. Alright, so just set it up right there. We'll just use the edge. We'll do like a time lapse. We'll start like this, and then we'll do a time lapse. All it is following your outline to begin with, and then you eyeball your shading. So I feel like your outer lines, you can just go dark as shit, it doesn't matter. I mean, when they get a little more technical, you gotta be a little more careful, but initially, when you're just doing your big fat lines, like, I don't know, I like to just do it quickly. It's just me, I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's everyone, I don't know. Alright, so here's how we're starting to do the burn, right? I'm just using the edge so I get more. I'm just burning. Now it's time-lapse mode. Alright, see, so we've been working on this for about an hour. The outline's pretty much done. I've done some shading too. So now you kind of see, you know, how this works. So you got different tips. This is a screwdriver tip. This is the best for like doing the outlines because it's got this sharp edge right here. This other one that I actually started with is what I like to call the shading tip. You can use it for flat, and then the tip to get into like tight spaces, and then this flat portion to get into wider shading. And it's nice, and you just kind of rub it to do different shading, like lighter shading, or hold it to do heavier shading. You've got these other ones that I use, but I don't use them as often. These two fine tip ones for like the really intricate line work. And then you've got this little dildo guy here. It looks like a bullet or something. I guess you would do for just like really fat lines that are ugly and fat. I don't know, but that's basically it. So now you're seeing this thing evolve now. I'm gonna take another video when it's done to show you the final processes that I do with it. But next thing, I'm gonna switch this tip out for the shading tip, and then I'm going to eyeball it with the my tracer, and I'm gonna go through and look at this and then shade that accordingly. When that's done, then we'll do our final portion of the video for the tutorial. Okay, CJ, hopefully this doesn't die. We are finished, and we're about to put on the finishing touches. So bam, 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 and finishing touches, very simple. Get this spray fucking lacquer. It's clear semi-gloss spray lacquer. And the only thing I'm going to have left to do that I'm not going to show you in this video because it's kind of pointless is I'm going to take a saw and cut this out so it's to size. But everything else, and then sand the edges so they're not all rough. And then I'm going to put a mount on it using a coat hanger and some tiny screws. But you don't need to know how to do all that. I mean, you can figure, that's easy shit. You can figure that out on your own if you really want to know. Yeah, you can figure that out. But here's the last part, pretty much. Oh shit. Nice coat of spray lacquer on front, and I usually do the back and the sides, but since I'm going to be cutting this, not gonna do that right now until it's cut and sanded. But there we go. Voila. There's your tutorial, bro. Ta-da!